Last week, Avery asked if you're in favor of schools implementing a clear bag or backpack policy. 53% of you said no thanks. As always, we thank you for sharing. Ted Cruz trying to make up some of the campaign miles his opponent has been eating up in Texas, including a stop this week in Lubbock. His themes were familiar as Mr. Cruz hopes to rally the familiar conservative voters in November. And KMAX Paige Peroso has more.
A huge crowd packed into Triple J's to see Senator Ted Cruz on his campaign trail for re-election.
I love West Texas. I love the values of West Texas. If the whole country could get back to West Texas values, it would turn our entire nation around.
Inside was full of Ted Cruz supporters, but outside, a group gathered who disagreed with Cruz's message.
We want to let everybody know that there are Beto supporters in Lubbock, and there's a great alternative to Ted Cruz.
Cruz spent his time speaking about key points of his campaign, including immigration, a hot topic in Texas this summer.
That for violent felons who repeatedly come into this country illegally, that they face a mandatory minimum prison sentence. So they're not out on the street threatening people's lives, but they're in jail instead. That's common sense legislation that sadly Democrats in Washington are blocking. But that's the sort of legislation I think Texans support.
He also spoke about Second Amendment rights.
Every one of those students in that hospital room on the day of the shooting, they said, gun control's not the answer. That if you take away my guns, it doesn't make me any safer. It just means the killers and murderers, they're the only ones with guns. So the approach is simple. Protect the rights of Texans, of law-abiding citizens, and target the bad guys and put them in jail.
But the one thing he wanted his supporters to take away from the event is the importance of voting on Election Day.
It is clear the hard left, there are a lot of them that are really angry, that are filled with rage for the president. They're going to show up in big numbers. The good news is there are a lot more conservatives than liberals in Texas. And so all of the freedom-loving Texans, we need to show up, we need to bring our friends and family and defend freedom in this state.
For Talking Points, I'm Paige Peroso.
Paige, thank you. We will be right back with the final word.